Hi, Dorks! Today is the first day of the series on YouTube that I'm calling Practice Tips with Ms de Leeuw. I'm excited to teach you all of your other stuff too, but I wish that I could do that in person because I really miss you guys. But I'm actually legitimately excited to do this series because you all know that I love talking about practicing and how it works and how to make it better, and I don't get to do that enough in class. But now, that's all we're ever doing is we're just practicing all the time, so we get to talk a lot more about it. So today I'm just going to do a short little video that I'm going to call the 3 main components of successful practicing. Woo! So, 3 main components. When you are setting up practicing, the most important thing is that you have a routine that you are going to follow, because the more that you stick to a routine, the more able your brain, as big as it is able to actually think about sounding better and not just thinking about like, hey, my sister is screaming really loud. I don't know if that sounded good because I can't hear myself right now. That's not ideal practicing, right? So, first component of successful practicing is making sure that you have set aside some time. I know that especially when I was in high school, I was one of those really bad habit people of being like, I'll practice before I go to bed. But then before you know it, it's like 11 o'clock and you're like, okay, I guess I'm going to start practicing now. And then I'm really tired and I'm not going to get as much done. That's not great. So now, when I'm practicing for like a concert or to perform for you guys or something like that, I make sure to set aside a time, usually in the afternoon before dinner when I want to practice, because that's when I know I'm not going to be sleepy yet. But I am going to be awake. Like, I don't want to practice. I'm not great about practicing first thing in the morning because then I haven't had my coffee yet, and you know how much I love coffee, and so that's not great for me either. And also the afternoon is when my pets take their naps, and I know that sounds really silly, but I have a dog and a cat now, and when they decide to play, they're adorable, and I want to watch them play with each other, but also I like hear their nails going clap, 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 and then sometimes my dog barks, and sometimes my cat goes, rah! And it gets noisy and disruptive, and that's not my favorite time of day to practice. So like right now, my dog is laying at my feet, and he's half asleep, and the cat is off somewhere on a cat adventure, probably taking a nap, and so I know that it's going to be quiet right now while I practice. So that's why timing is really important. Find a time when you know that you're going to be awake and also you're not going to have a ton of disruptions. The second big component is space to practice. I am currently in my little makeshift home office. I actually prefer to practice when I'm at school with you guys. Sometimes I'll practice after sectionals are over or during advisory class or something like that because I have more space there. Here, I don't know if you can tell, but that's the ceiling and it's sloped, and if I am in this very particular spot right now, I can bow on my violin and I won't hit the ceiling and I won't hit the staircase. But it's not ideal because I can't really move around very much. I'm kind of limited in where I can make these videos. So ideally, I would have a little bit more space to practice. Hopefully, your bedroom maybe is a good place to practice where people won't bug you. I've seen videos. You guys have been awesome about sending in videos. People have been practicing outside. Maybe that's a quiet space for you to be practicing. People have been practicing in dining rooms or in what looks like their parents' office spaces. Any space is a good space to practice because practicing can happen anywhere. Whoa! But make sure that wherever that space is going to be, that you are comfortable in that space. The other component of space is just making sure that whatever space you're in, you have the materials that are necessary. So this is like space part 2. So maybe it's more like 4 components of practicing. But we're going to go with 3 because number 3 is better for a title. So like space part 2 is making sure that you have materials for practicing. If your space is just a wide open grassy field, where are you going to put your music, right? Like you're not going to put your music on the ground and then practice like this. that's not helpful. So making sure that you have a music stand. Don't do that with your bow. That wasn't very good for my bow. Sorry, bow. And making sure that you have your instrument. Making sure that you have... I realized right before I started practicing to make this video, I realized that I had left my metronome downstairs. So I had to go downstairs and find my metronome because I didn't want to get like halfway through my practicing and then be like, oh, now I have to go get my metronome, because then I lose focus and I get downstairs and the cat is real cute and I just want to like pick her up and hold her, and then the dog wants to play tennis ball, and then it's over. Take the time that you have and make sure that that time is all about practicing. I have this pencil on my stand because I'm a good orchestra student and I always have a pencil. I have music. Today I've been working on stuff from your audition packets, so that's what's on my music stand today. I also always have just some fun stuff on my music stand, because one of the things when I'm getting frustrated that I like to do is just be like, I'm frustrated right now, so I'm going to pull out this big old thick book of songs that I know how to play that are fun for me, and that usually gets me to start enjoying playing again, and then I can get back into focusing whatever was frustrating and maybe try a new practice strategy and figure out a different way to approach that problem. So that's the other thing. And then also making sure that you're comfortable. You'll notice I have my glasses on. I haven't been wearing my I'm going to be honest, I haven't been wearing my glasses very much lately because I'm at home and my eyes aren't that bad. But if I'm going to be practicing something and I need to see the music in front of me, you bet I'm going to be wearing my glasses because, bless you, Kingsley, because that drives me crazy when you guys show up to class and you're like, Ms de Leeuw, I can't see my music. Where are your glasses? I left them at home. Don't do that. Wear your glasses when you practice. And I'm wearing a comfy shirt, and I'm not trying to wear like a ball gown or a tuxedo to practice because that's not comfortable, and you don't want like to be like, man, this wool cashmere sweater thing vest sure is itchy, and have that be a distraction from your practicing. So I'm good to go. I have everything I need right in front of me. The last thing before I start practicing is that I need to have a plan about what I'm going to practice. I think that this is probably the biggest issue that I see with your practicing when I hear about your practicing, or when you write to me about your practicing on your practice chart, is that you go in and you're like, okay, it's 4:30, it's time for me to practice, and you sit down and you kind of just like open your arms to the heavens and you say, tell me what to practice, and then nobody says anything because nobody's going to tell you what to practice. That is why I try and have you write down on your practice charts what you should practice, so that you have that to look off of to make your plan when you start practicing. But for the most part, it's all about you, and you have to think through what you're going to do. So here, subcategory of your plan. Here are the 3 components that should go into your plan. You should always have a warm-up. I like to do scales for warm-ups. Other good warm-ups might be like finger exercises, like your finger twisters, or maybe some rhythm chart stuff, or something else that you're going to be able to do in a pattern that kind of just gets your muscles moving and your blood flowing. And then second component of your plan is some kind of technical exercise. For us, this usually means something out of your Essential Elements books or your high-tech books. Sometimes we use other technical exercises, shifting stuff, or vibrato stuff. Those are all technical exercises. But something that gets your muscles to really work a little bit harder, because now that they're warm and there's blood flowing, you want to try and get them to do something that will make you ultimately stronger. This is kind of like doing a warm-up jog and then doing a big sprint, and your big sprint is meant to make you faster, but then you don't just sprint and then stop whatever you're doing. So once you've got that momentum, once you're at a good pace with your practicing, then you want to move on to whatever kind of piece you're working on. This might be an orchestra piece. This might be like a Suzuki piece. This could be a piece that you're trying to learn. I heard a lot of really cool people playing video game songs that they figured out this week, and I heard some people playing theme songs from TV shows that they liked, that they had learned with their ears. Those are all really great things. But whatever it is, you should decide ahead of time, hey, today I really want to work on Minuet 3 from my Suzuki book, and my goal for that piece is that I'm going to focus on the intonation. And just the fact that you've decided that before you start practicing means that your practicing is going to be more productive, because you don't get to that and you think like, I'm just going to try and fix everything. We talk all the time about how anytime you try and fix everything, your brain just kind of goes, blah! And you can't think through anything because you don't know what to start with. So you always have to have something to start with. Once you have that plan, you're going to tune your instrument. And then you're ready to go. Next time, I'll be talking more about some basic warm-up exercises and strategies that you can use for that part of your practicing. But hopefully this gave you some ideas to help you as you're practicing this week. I'd love to know what you thought. I'd love to get more subscribers on our YouTube channel so that more people can learn about practicing, because it's awesome. And I will talk to you soon. Bye.